Hey friends, welcome to this new video all about Garten of Banban 8, the new chapter coming very soon. Finally, after waiting so long, we have some fresh news to share with you. In the last few hours, the official Steam page for Garten of Banban 8 has received a series of updates. In this video, we will analyze them together, trying to understand what the developers want to tell us and what new things we might expect soon. But we won't stop there. After carefully seeing all the news from the Steam page, we will dive into the latest theories and considerations based on the most recent official video released by the Euphoric brothers. The video in question is the release date announcement. We will discuss every detail, trying to connect the dots and imagine what awaits us in this new chapter of the saga. If you're a fan of Garten of Banban 8 and want to stay always updated on all the news, theories and updates, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a big like on this video. That way you'll be the first to discover every new information and won't miss anything important about this game that's about to arrive. Alright, enough with the introductions, get comfortable and let's start right away by seeing what happened on the Steam page and what we can guess from these updates. Now let's move on to analyzing the latest updates on the Garten of Banban 8 Steam page. To do this, we rely on a very useful and accurate tool, SteamDB. For those who don't know it, SteamDB is an external website that monitors in real time all the changes and updates on game pages on Steam. It's an essential tool for anyone who wants to stay updated on every little modification, even those not directly visible to regular users. Looking at SteamDB, we can see that the Garten of Banban 8 page has received two very recent updates. However, these updates only involve what is called the change number. Well, it's a type of update invisible to players visiting the Steam page, so it does not translate into new images, trailers, or updated descriptions visible to the public. However, just because these are invisible updates does not mean they are less important or less meaningful. These behind-the-scenes changes serve to prepare the whole structure and technical information of the page for the official launch of the game. They are fundamental steps that indicate the developers are finalizing the last details to have everything ready at the release. And speaking of the release, let's remember that Garten of Banban 8 will officially come out on August 21, so in less than 2 weeks. This shows how crucial these updates are. Every little change is a sign that the countdown has really started and that we are getting closer and closer to finally getting our hands on this highly anticipated new chapter. So even though for now we don't see visible news like new trailers or images on the Steam page, these invisible updates are still a clear sign that something big is being prepared. Now let's take a closer look directly at the official Steam page of Garten of Banban 8. I want to point out something that might seem trivial, but has actually sparked some discussion within the community. Even though the Euphoric brothers have already officially announced the release date for Chapter 8, which will be August 21, 2025, the Steam page of the game still does not show this exact date. At the moment, in the release date section, it only says 2025 without specifying the day or month. This has led to some theories among fans, and I have seen many comments and posts suggesting that the date hasn't been added because it might still change, maybe due to delays or some last-minute issue. But I want to reassure you right away on this point, there is no reason to worry. Anyone familiar with the work of the Euphoric brothers knows that when they announce a release date, it's because it has already been firmly decided and it is not changed at the last minute. Throughout the saga, in fact, they have never altered the official release dates, always keeping their promises to the fans. So we can be calm. Garten of Banban 8 will definitely come out on August 21st, 2025 without delays or last-minute surprises. Also, there's an even more special reason why for me this date is really important, and it's not just for the game. Because August 21st is my birthday. So, besides being an important date for the release of one of the most awaited horror games of the year, it's also a personal occasion to celebrate with all of you, so mark it well on your calendar, because in less than 2 weeks we have an unmissable event ahead, and I can't wait to share every detail and every update of this new chapter with you. As we have seen, the release date for Chapter 8 was officially announced just yesterday with the announcement video published by the Euphoric brothers. This already represents a very important official confirmation. The game will be released on August 21st, 2025, and there is no doubt about this. But it doesn't end there. Besides the video, Geppo and Faris, the two Euphoric brothers, confirmed the date even more directly and personally. In fact, they wrote a message on Discord, the platform where they often interact with fans, clearly stating that the release date will indeed be August 21st. So, if the exact date still doesn't appear on the Steam page, it absolutely does not mean there are uncertainties or possible delays. In fact, it's important to remember that Steam often updates its pages with some delay compared to official announcements from developers, especially when it comes to highly anticipated titles like this. What really matters is the word of the Euphoric brothers, who are always very transparent and precise in their communications. If they have publicly announced the date, it means they already have everything ready for the launch on that day and have no intention of moving it. So, don't worry and get ready to mark this appointment on your calendar. August 21st, 2025 will be a special day not only for all of us fans of Chapter 8, but also for anyone who loves horror games in general. I'm really excited and can't wait to experience all the new things this new chapter will bring us together. Now, I want to focus with you on a really interesting detail that appeared both in the final trailer and in the release date announcement video of Chapter 8. As you can see, the Flambo family is very similar to the Banban family we saw for the first time in Chapter 1, with one key difference. Instead of Banban, there is Flambo. The rest of the family members are the same ones we already know well: Jumbo Josh, Bambalina, Opila Bird, Captain Fiddles, and Stinger Flynn. This similarity is not a coincidence and definitely has an important meaning in the evolution of the story and the game's setting. However, one detail we absolutely cannot overlook is that in this mural, some characters who were added to the Banban family in later chapters are missing. I'm talking about Sheriff Toadster, Nabnab, Nabnalina, and Queen Bouncelia, all characters that we have seen appear and become an integral part of the lore as the saga developed. For example, in the mural that appears at the end of Chapter 7, we clearly see both Sheriff Toadster and Queen Bouncelia alongside the other family members, but in this Flambo family mural shown in these latest videos, these two characters are completely absent. This difference leads us to consider several interesting possible interpretations. One is that, in the world of Garten of Banban, the areas represented in Chapter 8 might be among the first zones built or created at a time when the other characters were not yet part of the family or setting. In other words, Chapter 8 could bring us to discover a part of the story or the world of Garten of Banban in a more ancient or original phase, where the Flambo family consisted only of those original members and the other characters were added only later over time. Another possible explanation is that characters like Sheriff Toadster and Queen Bouncelia were not originally part of the same family, but belonged to a different family or separate group, with a different role in the plot. This could open the door to new mysteries. Alright friends, to sum up everything we've seen today, we've analyzed together the latest invisible updates on the Garten of Banban 8 Steam page, discovering that even if they are not visible, they are still very important because they prepare the ground for the game's release. Then we confirmed that the release date is official and set for August 21, 2025, even though the Steam page currently only shows the year. I explained that the Euphoric brothers have firmly announced this date and there will be no delays or changes. Finally, we delved into a very interesting detail, the Flambo family mural that appears in the trailer and the announcement video. We noticed the differences with the Banban family from previous chapters and thought together about what this might mean for the game's lore and the story waiting for us in Chapter 8. Thank you so much for sticking with me until this point. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like to support the channel and subscribe so you won't miss any of the upcoming news, analysis and theories about Garten of Banban 8 and other horror games coming soon. Bye bye!